crafters, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm going to share with you how I made Santa. This is the Creative Craft Products Sweet Christmas, and this is the Santa himself die set. And you can see it here. Now, I like to put mine in a little plastic wallet. When the dies come to you, they come in a little plastic bag. I put a magnetic sheet on the back of mine and put all my dies here. So for this little guy to make, you will need, and I have all my little bits and pieces right here. So you'll need 2 of the base, and this is the Santa base. Now, I've done one in white, which is 300 GSM cardstock, and one in red. And the red one is actually 280 GSM. This is Lidl's Crelando cardstock. Now, you can always put extra layers on these if you want to make them, you know, a little bit stronger if you like. I'm after getting a little bit of ink blending on the back of mine. So I'm going to cut another one of these out. I'll cut off the bottom and then I will flip it around and sit it on there like so. If you want to stamp to and from, you know, you could do that now before you start assembly. It's up to yourself. So we'll need 2 of those, and I've done one in white and one in red. We also need this piece. I've die cut this out in white because it's going to go on over our red piece. I had to stop and think there for a minute. And that's this piece here. So I've die cut out this piece. That's going to go on there for his face. I've die cut out this. This die here gives you his feet. It gives you his mouth. And it gives you his 2 eyes, and I have them all here ready to go. I've also die cut out, let's see, this piece for his face. I've done some ink blending with my Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink, just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. I've also die cut out this piece here. That's for his nose. And again, I've put some Tattered Rose on that for a little bit of depth and dimension. I've got 2 little white pieces here. That's this die. It gives you the cuff for his sleeves. And his sleeves, I have die cut out in white, not red. I'm going to have to redo those, but it's these 2 here. So you'll need 2 of those and die cut in red. So don't forget to do that. This one here will die cut out this little loop, and that's if you want him to hang up like I have. Now you might want to use him as a topper. You might need that little piece. You could always have your little Santa holding a little piece of white cardstock, and on it it could have naughty or nice. So if you didn't want it to hold a sweet treat, you could have it so that you can cover up this little hole and put, you know, naughty and nice or happy Christmas. You know, you could have a little sentiment in here if you wanted. So it doesn't have to be a sweet treat holder. You could do that and sit it on a card. So the only other things I have is a little pom-pom from my stash. I've taken a little red bell because, you know, it's always nice to hear a little jingle from Santa. And I've got some string. I put white on this one, but I'm going to do some red on this one, and I've got a little star. Rather than just loop it through and tie a knot, I'm going to pop it through the way I have this done. So it's when it's hanging on the Christmas tree, you'll have the little star above it. So that's all the bits and pieces we need. I'm going to tidy off the desk now and we'll do a little bit of assembly. So I have my Santa shape. The first thing I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut a little wedge out of this piece. And the only reason I'm doing that is so that it sits nicer when we layer this on top of the other one. We'll get a nicer finish. So that way, if you don't sit it on exactly right, you won't notice it. Now you could rescore this line here. I'm just going to fold it over and I'm going to burnish it with my burnishing tool. Now we'll do the same on this one. We won't cut little pieces off it, but I will fold and burnish it, but I'm not going to do it right for the minute because it's going to allow me to do the little bits we want on it. So I'm going to take my quick grab glue, and at the moment I'm loving using the Burley Art Precision Craft glue. It's really good. It's very much like the tonic glue or the cosmic shimmer glue or the CraftStash Creative Craft Products bookbinding glue. They're very much all the same, but I have to say I love the nozzle, the little tip on this. It does not gum up. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of glue on the top and I just pull that off, but it really is a great bottle. So very pleased with this. It was a little bit expensive now, if I'm honest. It was twice the price of some other glues, but for the precision tip, etc., I think it was worth it. I know that when this bottle is empty, I will probably put a cheaper glue. I'll probably go back to the CraftStash bookbinding glue. I do love that glue. I find it just as good as the rest of them as a quick grab glue. So what I'll do is I'll buy that cheaper glue and put it into this bottle. I do have precision tip bottles, but sometimes they get a little gummed up and I end up having to wash out the tip. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a first world problem, let's be honest. But I think I will use that bottle going forward. Okay, so that's the shape of our Santa's face. I'm going to add in his actual face now. And I love this little bit. I love layering all these pieces on. It's really lovely. So we'll pop that one in here. And then we'll add his nose. Now you could put a little bit of foam under the nose to give it a bit of dimension. But I'm going keeping all this flat because I'm putting it on a Christmas tree, so it doesn't need the dimension, but you could always do that. So there we go, we have that. Now I'm going to add his eyes before I go any further. So a little bit there and a little bit there. I'll use my little pickup tool for those, make sure they're up the right way. There we go. They're actually big enough that you don't really need to have a precision tool. It does help though. There we go, right way up. There he is. Now I have a little bit of feathering from when I die cut it. And when they're dried, there's another bit there. I hate when that happens to cardstock. Very annoying. Okay, next thing is his mouth. Now you could have it as a little red mouth if you wanted, but I think cartoon characters, when their mouths are open, it's usually a black open mouth is what you'd see. So I'm just going to make sure there's no little bits of cardstock on that, and then we'll stick that in place. Lovely. And it fits in just like a little jigsaw puzzle piece. Great. Now we'll add his little boots, and I'm adding his boots first because the arms kind of overlap. Now you could have them coming up higher. You could have one waving and the other one holding, you know, down to the belly. So really whatever way you like. There's a little pointed end to one side of this oval, and the pointed end goes down this way. I don't need my tweezers now, so I'll just add a little bit of quick grab glue to this, and we'll pop that one on there, and it should all line up nicely. Lovely. And then we'll add a little bit of glue to the other one. And again, the point is pointing this way. So we'll pop that on there. and it lines up here with this piece here, so you'll know you have it in the right place. Great. And then we have his little arms are next. Now I'm going to put my little cuffs on him before I go any further. So the point here goes up to the left and this point goes up here on the right. And then we have our little cuffs, 1 and 2. And you'll see this little piece here, this is what faces down towards his little mittens. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this. And the pieces really on this aren't too small if you had, you know, dexterity issues with your hands. I don't think they're too bad. But again, tweezers come in very handy for that. So there's one. And again, they line up with the little curves here on the back. I'm going to just pop a little block on that just for a bit of weight so that that glues nicely into place. And then we'll add this one on here. There we go. And we'll add that one down there. Oh, I did. I already had them die cut out. You know, I didn't see them. Look, they were under the suite. Anyway, I'm going to be making a couple more of them, so it's no loss. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my little holder here underneath. So I'll put a little bit of liquid glue along the bottom here, and then I shall pop that into the middle. And that can then be drying while I pop on his little arms. So we'll add a little bit of glue onto these. There's one. And you'll find where it dips in just here, that's where the little hand, now you can have it overlapping a little bit if you want. I'm going to have it just there. I brought them further apart in this one, but I might bring them a little bit closer on this so it actually looks like he's holding the sweet. And we'll pop this one on here. I think I might actually make these where they're on the front of a card. I think they'd be very cute. That's lovely. So I'm going to fold up our little score line here, burnish that, try and take off any glue. Now I have a bit of glue there and I had a bit of glue on my finger there. I'm going to take my embossing bag, it's a little embossing buddy, add a little bit, that might have been too much, Simone. I'll take a tissue and just wipe some of that off. But it just means that it's not going to stick there. And you won't see that now. That's inside. Lovely. So now, oh, I've got it everywhere. Isn't that Murphy's Law now? Okay, there we go. So now we want to add this one onto the bottom here. And you can see now why I put those little wedges on there. I'm just going to make sure I don't have any of the embossing powder there because I don't want it to not stick. Okay, so I like to stick this over, that way you can stick it under if you like. It's really up to you, but my preference is over because when you look around, I want this to flow nicely. It's a little thing, but I don't know. To me, I think those little things, do you know, that's just what makes the difference, I think. So now I'm going to add that on here. And that should all line up nicely there on that side. Lovely. Now all we need to do is stick the, oh, look, I've done it the wrong way around. Oh, quick, quick. I'm so glad I spotted that. Oh my goodness. Okay, again, I'm going to use my embossing bag away from everything. Lovely. Okay. So now we'll try that again, take 2. And I'm leaving this in because, you know, this can happen to anyone. So you need to make sure the little bobble on your hat there is in the same orientation as your bobble and your hat there. So we'll have another go now at sticking that in. Lovely. And look, it's only paper at the end of the day. We won't sweat the small stuff, you know. I think crafting should be fun. If it becomes stressful, then you're doing something wrong. Do it for the joy of it. Okay, now look, it all lines up nicely. Brilliant. Now, I'm going to add a bit of glue. Now, you can just add a bit of glue at the top if you like, but I find when you add a bit of glue further down, it helps to pinch and keep your little sweet in. Now, it does depend on what you're putting in there, but that's my preference, so it's really up to you. So I'm going to put a little glue across here and go all the way up the top there. So again, you can stick this down as much or as little as you like, depending on what you're putting in here. So I'll do my best now to line them up. Lovely. And give that a little minute to catch. And while that is catching, I'm going to add my little loop in. So you can take the bead off, but I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to put one through the back. The other one is through the front, and then we need to join it up. Now, you might be able to just feed it through, or you may have to use a little, I've got a little thing for feeding it through, but sure, that'll work nicely. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's coming through. Now, you don't have to do this. I just like the look of it. I think it looks lovely with this on. So it really is up to you. I just think that's very cute having that there. And then all we need to do is a little loop at the top. Isn't that lovely now? Isn't that so cute? Lovely. And there's our little white one with our red star. So it's up to you, whatever you think yourself. I like both. And we have our little sweet. Oh, I nearly forgot. I have my pom-pom to put on. I'm gonna, do you know what? I'm going to get my hot glue because I want to put my little bell on. So I'm going to stick that down with some hot glue and then put the pom-pom on over it. So I'm going to get my hot glue gun and then come straight back to you. Okay, so I've got my hot glue gun ready. I'm going to put a little drop there. And I'm going to quickly add my little bell. And then my little pom-pom. I might need to add a little, yeah, I do. I need to add a little bit more to that. You don't have to do this. But, yeah. I like I like to keep the struggle real. Okay. There we go. So there we go. There are our two Santas. All I've got to do now is add a little bit of pink to his cheeks, just a little bit there and a little bit there. And a little sweet to his belly. So I'm going to add that in here. I may have to turn this on its side so it fits in. There we go. Look at that. And it looks like he's actually holding it. Yeah. So I love those. There we go. There is Santa himself die set from the Creative Craft Products. It's their Sweet Christmas range. A gentle reminder, good viewer, you might be seeing my videos, but you're not subscribed. If you enjoy my video, I would love for you to click on the subscribe button, as well as ding the bell so you'll see my videos in future, and it'll help my channel grow. You can share your makes with me on my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts. And if you'd like to help support my channel, you can click the Super Thanks button down below. That will help my channel. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye for now.